Her Majesty the Queen is the most famous woman in the world. A monarch and head of state to over 120 million people, she has reigned now for 60 years. But behind palace walls, there is an army of suppliers who help keep Her Majesty and the royal machine working. They are the craftsmen and women who hold warrants as official suppliers to Her Majesty the Queen, the Duke of Edinburgh, and Prince of Wales. And they all have one thing in common: the right to display a royal coat of arms, denoting that they are by royal appointment.
I think royal warrants are immeasurably important. Not only are you bearing the coat of royal arms above your establishment, which of course can be anything from Fortnum & Mason just up the road to the dry cleaners that either the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Edinburgh or the Queen frequents.
If you have a royal warrant, it's a huge boost to the actual business because you have that, literally, that stamp, that crown stamp of approval, which everyone realises that it's got to be a good business and good products to get that stamp.
In this Jubilee year, by royal appointment, we'll take you inside this exclusive royal world to meet the men and women personally chosen by the royal family to supply them.
When you cook for His Royal Highness or the royal family, it's also a challenge. But it's great fun, it's a great honour for me especially. After all those years, I was cooking for the Queen Mother, the Queen and Prince Charles, and now Prince William.
I think the royal warrant allows customers to be part of this royal experience, I suppose. If they can't have tea with the Queen, they might be able to have the Queen's tea at home.
I certainly sense that I'm carrying on a tradition that my great-grandfather started, and I hope that I have two sons working with me, so the tradition hopefully carries on.
Here we've got one of our most interesting pieces, which is actually a block that we used for the coronation to resize the crown for the current Queen.
Behind the crowds, the headlines and pomp and ceremony of this year's Jubilee, the British royal family is a busy, well-run, modern organisation. And it couldn't function properly without those it has personally chosen to supply it.
Through here you can see some of the oldest parts of the cellar, and actually here you can see the Mouton Rothschild that Prince Charles himself did the label for.
So you might not be able to afford the very wine that they drink in the palace, but that store bears the emblem, the seal of royal approval above its door, and I would imagine that that makes that door far more enticing than perhaps one might say Oddbins.
Amazing embroidery on the cuff. This is called a full dress tunic. Again, the oak sleeve embroidery on here, and the cross belt, which has got gold thread in it.
When somebody asks you what you do and you tell them you're a furniture maker, and then they might say to you, well, have you made anything for anybody famous? And you go, well, it depends what you define as famous. You tell them that we've made furniture for the Queen.
The Royal Warrant is in very good health because the companies that hold the Royal Warrant are very, very keen to remain at the top of their game. And the only way that a company will remain at the top of their game is through innovation, entrepreneurship, which is exactly what the Royal Warrant promotes. So I believe it's got an incredibly important future.